Good evening, I'm Joan London.
And I'm Charlie Gibson, and this is about as late as you're ever going to see us, I guess.
That's for sure. For the past 11 years now, Good Morning America has been showing you America the way it really is. And we're going to keep right on doing that.
One of the things we're going to keep doing is spelling America with a C and not a K. But you probably know by now that there are some big changes coming to Good Morning America, and ABC's given us the next 4.5 minutes to plug the show a little bit and tell you what's going on.
Of course, the big change is this guy right next to me, Charlie Gibson. You might know him as ABC News Capitol Hill correspondent. You might also know Charlie as the man who sits in for Ted Koppel on Nightline. Anyway, with David Hartman leaving as my co-host, there's no one I'd rather have sitting beside me than Charlie Gibson.
Whoa.
And cut. That's a good one, everybody.
This is, of course, the room where the important stuff on Good Morning America happens.
They told you that?
Yeah, they did.
And
They sold me that bill of goods.
Okay.
But it's the room where they keep you on the right shot half the time and the right microphone up half the time and in focus maybe half the time. But anyways, these have been the people who have been very accommodating and made me feel very at home coming up here to sit in for David.
It's a good group. And today we've talked about you.
They told you that?
They told me that too. We've talked about you at ABC News, World News Tonight, Nightline. But tell me a little bit about Charlie Gibson prior to ABC. Where'd you start?
Used to wait tables, work construction, Coast Guard Reserve. No, used to work for a long time in Washington for a local station in Washington, D.C. And before that, first television job ever was back in Lynchburg, Virginia. We used to go out with two-man crews on a story. And on the first story, I'd shoot the thing, and the other guy'd be the reporter. And then we'd turn around, and he'd shoot the second story, and I'd be the reporter. Those really were the old days of television.
So you had a chance to keep someone out of focus.
That's right. That's right. But this is a long way in a control room like this from the days of standing out in the fields of Campbell County, Virginia, reporting on local government there. In short, they're running for Congress. Why do they do it? Well, nobody really knows, but here in the 5th District of Virginia, we have a dilly of a race going on.
Charlie, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Yeah.
The good news is that this is the Big Apple. I mean, there's Broadway, there are so many restaurants, theater, everything you can imagine.
Yeah.
The bad news is you can't go to any of it because you have to get up at 3 a.m.
That's right, yeah. I called a friend of mine, and he's up in New York a lot, and I said, geez, when you're up here, we got to go carousing till 7:15 or so.
7:15 at the latest.
It's Peter Jennings and World News Tonight becomes the late show.
Seriously, though, obviously people have reacted. You've had friends from calls. Maybe even people have stopped you in the street. What have they said to you?
Well, a lot of people have written, and they're very nice. They say, you know, you and Joan are family, and it's so nice to have you in the family. And it's a nice way to have people refer to it. And then a lot of people, of course, congratulate you on the promotion, which is really nice, except that for 6 years I walked into my office, and it's been the capital of the United States.
And now look where you are.
Now I find we get a 5th-story walk-up in New York. Big deal.
Good morning, America.
All right, these are the GMA offices.
Such as they are, right? You know, if there's anything that struck me in coming up here, it's the diversity and the number of segments that you got. I mean, you've got lots of people working on the news segments, celebrity segments,
right.
segments,
Cooking segments.
Not to mention the legal, the money departments, the Ron Reagan pieces, the Steve Fox pieces. Lots of people on this show.
And they all work together. Would you like to meet a few?
Well, I suppose they're gathered here for a purpose, yes.
They're always looking for new, fresh ideas. Here's the producer.
Anything we can contribute? No, thanks.
So anyway, we're going to, since we're shooting in Miami, it's so silly.
Okay, stand by, everybody. Here we go. Fade up on 3, and cue 'em.
But all this boils down to the fact that we hope you'll be watching us in the morning, and I'm under no illusions. Replacing David Hartman is about as tough a job as I can think of. For 11 years, he has been part of America's morning and a big part of it. I know Joan's going to miss him, and I'll miss him as a viewer. But the commitment of this broadcast is not going to change, and that's a commitment to you, to keep you up to date and involved in the morning's happenings, to let you hear and judge the newsmakers, and hopefully to bring you some information you can use. That's what's important. We put this thing together every day, keeping in mind what you want to know and what you need to know. It's a responsibility we take very seriously.
And next Monday, it will be official. You and I will be partners in the morning, and what a welcome we have for you. Next Monday, we will begin a week-long visit to sunny and exciting Miami. Not a bad way to start.
It's the way they lured me in, a little sun, and I turned right to jelly. So anyways, I think it's time for the network to take its programming back. You got local news coming up, and of course, a little plug for Koppel at half an hour from now.
That's right. Our 4.5 minutes are up. From Charlie and all of us at Good Morning America, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the morning.